Okay. Welcome to the March 17th meeting of the Environmental Resource Committee of Sunset Beach. Call the meeting to order. We stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, everyone has seen the draft agenda. Are there any amendments that need to be made?
Mr. Chairman, this is not exactly, I guess it is an amendment, or maybe not more of a question. I think I may have asked this last meeting before on public comments. Why would we not have any deliberation? What's the point of that? I mean, if there's a discussion going on, or if they say something, does that mean we can't respond to it?
Correct.
Okay, why would we want that?
We want to give people the opportunity to tell us what's on their mind, but it's not a dialogue. That's town policy as far as I know. It's the same way with the council and the planning board and all the other town meetings. People can come in and speak their mind and we listen to them, but we don't deliberate with them.
Okay. Well, okay, I just was thinking, well, if I had a question about some clarification, you couldn't ask them, it just would create confusion. But anyway, whatever, go ahead. I'm okay.
Well, it's like the council, you got 10 people that may want to speak.
Yeah.
And you can't,
I understand that.
in that situation, you can't respond because you'll be there all night.
Well, I understand that, but we don't have people here. I guess that's the other point. That's a whole different discussion.
We just follow the same procedure that the rest of the town follows.
But we don't have to. Anyway, go ahead.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda approved. Next item is discussion of items not on the agenda. Does anyone have items not on the agenda? Okay, I do. The first item is the regional recycling meeting. The DEQ has called a regional recycling meeting on April 5th.
I got that.
Okay, you got another.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the reasons I've suggested that you sign up for email notices from DEQ is that you would get notices like this one. Greg and I have been, I've gotten an email from John Corbett suggesting that this would be a good thing for the ERC to participate in, and I had already planned to do that. And I have responded to Matt James, and I will be participating in the regional meeting virtually. But for the rest of you, if you'd like to do that too, you're very welcome to do that. Just send an email to Matt James, tell him you want to be part of the meeting, and he'll make it happen.
I will be in French Lick, Indiana that date. Anybody know what great NBA basketball players from French Lick?
Larry Bird.
There we go. The heck for French Lick.
Yeah.
12-time NBA All-Star.
Chad, I assume you get a copy of these. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Later on in the meeting, we will be talking to Ken Fisher from Sunoco Recycling. And it just happens that Sunoco Recycling is part of the regional meeting format. And what we'll be talking about today will be also discussed on April 5th. So this is the latest and the greatest on recycling. The next item is the Coastal Federation. The North Carolina Coastal Federation has published a document called the Nature-Based Storm Strategies program. And this is something, I don't know if it's new to me or it's newly published, but they have a bunch of ideas about how to manage stormwater using nature-based techniques. And one of the primary techniques is rain gardens.
Let me back up a little bit here, John. It's called the nature-based, what was that title again? Nature-based
Stormwater strategy.
Stormwater, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
You talk fast and I can write, but that's okay. Okay.
I suggest that you spend some time reading over this material. I'll have to send links to everybody
Okay.
to help you find it. But it's all good stuff, and it's very consistent with what we have started to do with this rain garden on the town property. Also, the Coastal Federation, since our last meeting, I reached out to the Coastal Federation and I've talked to Tracy Scrabble, who is the manager of the Wilmington office.
Give me an idea how to spell her last name.
Skrabal.
A-R.
Skra.
R-E-B-E-L, okay.
Bal.
Okay.
Tracy is very excited about us, our stormwater activities, rain garden activities, and has offered that if we want to come to Wilmington and spend a half a day, we can get a tour and look at a lot of the Coastal Federation stormwater activities in that area. Do any of you have an interest to do that?
Sure.
Yeah, I think maybe, depending on the date and what have you.
I'd like to do that.
I'm still driving Miss Daisy around, my wife, but I would say probably,
Well, we have an issue. It'd be nice if we could all go together, but
yeah,
then we have a public meeting
yeah.
conflict.
I'm not sure how we can work around that, and it's kind of silly to take two vehicles, but Chad, do you know how we can deal with that?
Two go one day, two go the other? Or two go at one point in time and then an hour later two more go?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me follow up and talk to Tracy and
Yeah.
try to get some dates, and then
Yeah.
we'll figure out who's available and
Yeah. I think
what makes the most sense.
for me, probably later next month would be good, but the whole thing doesn't revolve around me, obviously. We'll be back from Indiana, my wife will be better and all that. I'm a little reluctant to leave her by herself right now. She hadn't needed replacement surgery, but I'll have to pick out a couple dates, 2 or 3 dates, and
Okay.
we'll see, yeah.
And this gets into my next quandary. I'm really struggling in how to communicate information with the committee when I've read all the information about public records and public meeting laws, and is there a way that we can put a disclaimer on a communication that says this is for information, this is not for action or deliberation? We can't qualify.
No. I've been down that road when I worked for the public. There's no workaround on that, really.
So it's got to go through you.
Yeah.
All right. I apologize for my,
Well, you would think there is, but I've been down that road 5 or 6 or 7, 8 years ago. The answer is no.
okay. Next item are public comments on the agenda items. We have
There's no one there.
no one, we have no public visitors. So the next item then are the meeting minutes from February 17th. Are there any amendments anyone would like made? All right, do we have a motion to approve them?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry.
Meeting minutes are approved. Don, you can sign that, and we'll
All right.
give that to Lisa. Next item is Sunoco Recycling, and we're pretty close to right on time. He's supposed to call in here at 10:15. I've told him that we've had Mickey Bozeman come visit us. We've watched the video of the Jacksonville Recycling, and now we would like to talk to someone from Sunoco and learn more about what they do and get any ideas they have about how to promote recycling more effectively. If you guys have any other questions you'd like to ask, we can do that at this time. So we'll just take a little break until Ken calls. From what I understand, Ken is the marketing person in the recycling organization. I did alert Mickey Bozeman that we were talking to Sunoco.
Saw that.
Mickey is probably on YouTube watching us. Hello, Mickey. We still talk about you, so we thank you for your support.
John, this guy's name is Ken or Kevin?
Ken.
So it was supposed to be Kevin Fisher? Is that right?
Ken Fisher.
It says Kevin on here.
Where are you?
This is a email.
Okay, I got you. So his name, I guess just ask him what his name is.
I'm sorry, you're right, it's Kevin.
Kevin? Okay.
Another senior moment.
Wow. How about that? As we're talking about his name, he calls in.
Barely.
Can't hear anything.
Kevin, you there?
Yeah, there
Good
you
morning.
I just got a text from Mickey saying, I'm here watching,
go. All
looking
right.
forward to this. Good morning, Kevin. Mickey sends her regards.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear us? Kevin?
I can hear you. Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you.
So we'll just do an audio. We won't do any video today. Okay. All right. Kevin, can you give us some background about Sunoco Recycling? And we've seen the video on YouTube of the recycling operations at Jacksonville, but we'd like to know more about the business side of it and how we can better promote recycling in this community. So we'd like some help in that area.
Okay. All right. Thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. Again, I'm Kevin Fisher with Sunoco Recycling. I've been with the company for 16 years. And what I do is I handle our facilities in Wilmington, Jacksonville, Durham, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And when I say I handle that, account development and retention of our current accounts. We came into a partnership with New Hanover County in our Wilmington facility about 5 years ago and have a long-term contract with them. Essentially, that facility is owned by the county. We have our own equipment in there and operate the MRF. And what we do is we process residential, what we call residential single stream material, which y'all are putting in your bins, gets sorted at our facility there. So we'll sort cardboard and mixed paper, glass, steel and aluminum, tin cans, PET, HDPE. I think that's it. With our equipment in our Jacksonville facility, we have a little bit more equipment in Jacksonville. So all our containers, once they're sorted in Wilmington, are shipped to Jacksonville to go through another sort. And then we market the material out of Jacksonville. What we market out of Wilmington is basically our fiber, our cardboard, and our mixed paper. Now, with our parent company, Sunoco Products, I would say about 60 to 70% of that cardboard or mixed paper is going back into our own paper mills. So we have paper mills in Richmond, Virginia, and Hartsville, South Carolina. We have a combination of 9 paper machines between the 2 facilities. From there, what we do is put it through a pulping process to make new product. I'm sure you all are familiar with Pringles cans, cores in the textile industry or tubes in the textile industry. We make that type of board. Basically, it's a brown board, and it's generally going to get wrapped with something. That's why we can blend in a lower grade of mixed paper in the process. But we primarily, Sunoco Products is a packaging company, but the recycling division is vertically integrated with our paper division. And that vertical integration is where we're processing material in our recycling facilities and then sending it back to our own paper mills to make new product. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
It makes great sense on the paper side. How about the plastic side?
Yeah, the plastic sides, we do a little bit of vertically integrated with our PET. We have a packaging division, consumer packaging, and we ship some of the PET bottles or the clamshells to some of our manufacturing facilities to make new product. And what we're making is new clamshells. You walk into a grocery store, you're going to immediately hit the produce section in majority of the grocery stores. Well, those clear clamshells that your strawberries or blackberries are packaged in some cases, those are made by Sunoco.
What percentage of the plastics can you use yourself?
That's. I was just going there. We're not as high as 60 to 70% integration in that process. We're probably down to 10 to 15%, to be honest with you. So, where's that other plastic, the PET and the HDPE? Where are we shipping those? We're shipping those to, in some cases, end users like Unify in Georgia, who's making new product out of it. I'm sorry, Unify in Winston-Salem is making new product out of it. So, we have a couple different buyers, and we try to keep it local, but sometimes we do ship to Alabama or farther than that. So it's a good story. If I could say that the PET is we're getting to 60 to 70% and vertically integrated, but we're just not there yet. This is a new acquisition we took on about 2 to 3 years ago, and in some cases we're buying virgin PET for less expensive than the recycled PET. So it's a supply and demand and economics issue that comes into play.
Of the total PET that you recycle, what percentage of it do you think is used either by Sunoco or by your customers?
What we bale up and ship out on the PET that we process, it's going to be close to 100% is going to be reused. And we're going to weed out the contaminations before we bale it up and ship it out. So I would say low end 95%. In some cases, our shipments are 100% contamination free. That's PET. Now, if you look at the inbound stream, collectively of every single stream residential that we process, every ton, about 20% is contaminated. So 20% of the inbound material that's coming from the public and communities is going back to the landfill because it's just not recyclable.
Okay.
That's probably the bigger picture to look at versus just an individual PET. That's what we try to focus on, is getting that number, the contamination number down. It's just give you some history.
20% of your plastics are contaminated and landfilled, and 80%. 20% of the overall stream, which includes your cardboard, your mixed paper, your glass, and your plastics. Okay.
So if Brunswick County is shipping us 1,000 tons of residential single stream, 20% of that is going to the landfill. And that contamination can be food waste, plastic bags, textile waste, clothing, garden hoses, Christmas lights,
You name it.
dirt, wood. I mean, you name it.
That's right.
Kevin, this is Greg Ackery asking a question.
Sure.
You may not know the answer, but at the landfill, are the biodegradables separated from the, items that are not, like single-use plastics, that kind of thing?
I don't know that answer. I'm sorry.
What would you, not, just the proverbial gun to your head, what would you say? Do they separate that stuff, generally speaking, or would you say they do not?
I don't know. I suggest you reach out to New Hanover County themselves in the landfill and get some information from them. I really have no information as far as what they do at the landfill, other than they process waste.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
I'm sorry. I'm just
No worries.
Kevin, this is Don Eggert. I'm a member of the committee. A couple of questions. One, I assume the GFL stuff, you guys take the GFL recyclables, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. My wife and I recycle, we take it to the GFL dumpster near where we live, and I just want to reemphasize the point you made. You see all kinds of stuff in the bin that's clearly not recyclable, and and I'm sure you know this. I think part of that problem is people don't read the information, or number two, they don't remember, and number three, they just don't care. And it's frustrating for me as a recycler to see all that stuff in there, and the recycling person for the county and I've had a number of conversations about that. It's just a public education issue as much as anything, I think.
Sure, I would agree. Unfortunately, I'd like to say, this is not for every citizen, but the care may not be as much as we all care on the phone.
Yeah.
And,
well, just one more thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're passionate about it. Obviously, I'm in the industry, and y'all are on a committee, so that passion has to expand to other individuals.
Yeah.
But with a community like Sunset Beach, a lot of vacationers in and out of the area. So I understand, there's going to be challenges.
I lived in Charlotte for a good number of years, and they had townwide recyclables that you didn't pay for directly like we do here. But I had a neighbor that said they didn't recycle because it's too much trouble. So there you go. Too much trouble to recycle.
Sure. Yep. I don't really think it's that much trouble at all. But again, we may be in the minority on the phone here because we're passionate about it. But as far as educational material, I would suggest that Mickey Bozeman probably has some contacts within the state that can help as far as outreach. Just flyers, and again, I know, in a rental property, they're going to put a sticker or a 8x11 sheet of paper on the refrigerator and say, this is what goes in the bin and what doesn't go in the bin. And, but it's education in my mind is a little bit difficult because I think people want to say, well, this bin's easier for me to put in than walking another 10 feet.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
My suggestion is to reach out to Mickey and see if she can offer some assistance from the state as far as resources they have on education materials. And y'all may have already done that, which is great.
Yes, we had Mickey come speak to us a couple meetings ago, and she has followed up providing materials, and we've asked for more. But it's our hope to be able to put that in all the rental properties.
Oh, good.
Well, it is a tough nut to crack when you have people in and out that sometimes when you're on vacation, you don't care about that kind of stuff, unfortunately. And I would think there's somewhere on the coast, up and down the coast, that's really got the thing figured out. Maybe there is, maybe there's not, but it's a challenge for us, big challenge.
Sure. Yep. No, I understand.
The regional recycling meeting that's been called for April 5th,
Yes.
Will that agenda address other ways of improving recycling, or do you know what that agenda will be about?
I have not seen the agenda yet. I know they're going to talk about commodity prices. We're going to just kind of give a little bit of brief background on Sunoco Recycling. Not going to go into a lot of detail and maybe answer a couple questions that whoever's on the phone might have. Just, there's the purpose of that meeting was there's a lot of pushback in some other areas of the coast down there that are, say, recycling's too expensive. We need to do away with recycling. And it's, as a processor in the area, we need to make sure that we, Sunoco, is doing our best to convey that recycling is important. But at the same time, yes, it may be expensive, but some of the material that just can't go into the landfill. There's cardboard should not be going into landfill. Glass, plastic bottles should not be going into landfill. So it's kind of, we want to stress to certain communities, do not do away with your programs. Can't think of it. There's two communities. There's one in particular that I know is doing away with their program that's offered by the municipality, but they're moving to a subscription service. The name of it, I don't know it off the top of my head.
I think we've got that here.
It's in Brun.
And I think it's going to be $90 a year. It went up $15 or $20 a year, I think. Chad, do you know offhand? Anybody else know?
I don't think it went up that much,
Maybe
but
it
it
went
did
up a
go
little
up. It went up a little bit.
Yeah.
Kevin, how is the market for the other materials, the glass, the ferrous metal, the aluminum? Are those markets still strong?
With the exception of glass, we've seen a nice trend probably since April or May of last year, where the markets have been trending in a very positive direction. Overall, all the cardboard and mixed paper markets have increased. Your HDPE markets have increased, and your PET markets have somewhat flat, but nothing. They haven't gone down. So, if we had this call in late 19, it would be a different story. I'd be telling you the markets are really in a bad shape, and we didn't know when that trend was going to stop. But really, the trend stopped in probably about April, May of last year, and the markets have gained some momentum. We expect that to continue throughout this year as there's new paper mills opening up in the U.S. that are going to need more additional fiber, like cardboard and mixed paper, so that will increase the demand of the product and probably move the price up a little bit. So overall, the markets have improved.
Good. Gentlemen, are there any other questions?
Good.
I'm good.
Chad, do you have any? Well, Kevin, unless you have some other words of wisdom to share with us, we thank you very much for spending time to talk to us. I know you have a busy day, and we'll let you get back to work. And we thank
well, thank you for. Yeah, thank you all, and again, thank you for your interest in recycling and your efforts in recycling, and if we all can spread the word and let people know how important it is, we're doing the right thing. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or drop me an email, or even Mickey Bozeman, if she can't answer the question, let me know.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Are we disconnected? All right. Well, I'm glad we were able to do that, and I look forward to this regional meeting and learning more about it. There'll be a lot more people involved in that discussion. So
I answered my own question while he was talking, and it's not favorable. Do biodegradables degrade in landfills? Do you know the answer? They do not. Did you know that? So there are studies. Arizona State did a study, I can't see how long ago, where they did a survey of a landfill, and there were items in the landfill that were very recognizable from 25 years ago. Hot dogs, grapes, these kinds of things. And it's because landfills are so compact, there's no oxygen and no water. It's too expensive.
In my one of my prior lives, I worked with General Electric Company. We were very active in the waste to energy marketplace to take municipal waste and generate electricity. And one day I had a gentleman come visit me who was telling me how to mine paper waste from landfills for just that reason.
Well-
Newspapers and cardboard were disposed of in landfills and compacted. There's no oxygen for
Right.
rotting, and you can go in and dig that stuff
I
up.
did not know this.
You can dig that stuff up, and it's good fuel and a power.
They found newspapers from 50 years ago that were readable.
Yeah. But the thing,
Oh, I'm sure they don't.
batteries, there is the convenience center up on Sunset Road
Oh, you mean here? Yeah.
has
Yeah, up. Yeah.
904, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a place for you to take lithium ion batteries, and they will collect them. I think the thing that is unique to me about this region is that so much of the recycled material is used as material to make new products. It's not like a lot of areas where they want to collect the trash and send it to China or some other location. They don't want to do anything with it themselves. And if they don't do something with it themselves, they have to landfill it. And if they run out of landfill space, then they're in trouble.
I wonder how many people don't realize that the landfill is just that. It fills up. It doesn't biodegrade. I bet there are a lot of people that don't understand how that works.
A lot of people, most people,
Most people.
People don't.
Most
They
people,
don't think
most people.
about it. They think about trash,
yeah.
composting, and breaking down.
They do. I did.
I'm not sure many people think about, they just, when they see the truck pick it up, they're done with it.
Well, this is part of an education program. that
Absolutely.
we need to come up with. And maybe we need to dedicate one meeting just to formulating a recycling plan.
Still think it was put in taxes. It would be a lot easier and a lot better for people.
Well, what we've been told, Harold, is that the communities where it is in the tax base are rebelling and taking it out of the tax base.
Well, that's the ones that's burning it behind the house. They don't want to be a
You know, the thing is, I'll
You're
get
right.
some on my soapbox here. People don't like to pay taxes. But there's no free lunch. County commissioner told me years ago that everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there, you know? But anyway, that's a different story for another time.
That's a good.
Yeah.
So what are your ideas? How are we going to collect this information? We've talked to Mickey, we've seen videos, we've talked to Sunoco, we're going to talk to the region. We've got to pull this information
Well-
together and come up with a program
You know,
that we can give to council.
I think, John, it's a, number one, it's a lot to get our hands around, obviously. Number two, rather than trying to bite off more than you can chew on, we may want to focus a little bit smaller to start with. And number three, I think your idea of a meeting devoted more or less to this would be good, because we've been picking at it here and there a little bit. If we can get in another month or 2 or 3 months, really get our hands around this would be a start. It's a pretty big challenge to do this. Of course, we've basically missed this summer season, you might say. What is this, March? Well, we might be able to get something out with this summer season for the vacationers, but it's a big challenge.
Well, maybe look at it from a different angle,
Yeah.
John.
No, definitely.
What would we be thinking that the town council would be using the information for? Whatever package of information we gave them, what would they then do with it? What do we see them doing with it? Do you know, Chad?
They want
I
us,
think it's important to try to think through.
my understanding is they want us to come in and say, all right, we've studied this issue, we've developed this program, this is what we think can be done, and this is how we propose to go about getting it done. Okay? Now, Don, you said that we lost the summer, and to a certain extent we did. But one of the things that I think we need to be mindful of is that recycling is something
yeah, I
that people sign up for every year.
Well,
So I think if we target the next sign-up period and we try to do some kind of education and we get information out to people and dispel the myths around recycling, then we can try to get more people to sign up
That's a
for
good point.
recycling.
I think the sign up is toward the end of the calendar year, I think. And some people say that I'm not paying another $15 a year. I think either Cindy or Lisa mentioned that their number of subscribers had gone down a few, rather than gone up. Maybe it's that $15 a year for some people. It's a lot of money. I don't know. I can't imagine that, but it may be for some, because we're all on fixed incomes. Maybe for some people. I don't know.
I mean, wouldn't we have to give the town council, John, all the options? For example, even though it's not a good option, and I would not agree on it either, but isn't some kind of surcharge on waste, a tax, whatever you want to call it, isn't that an option? As unpopular as that would be, wouldn't we want to give the town council all of the different ideas? Or is that not what we're doing? You know, it's sort of like the rain garden. The rain garden is easy to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to get at here? I'm trying to
No,
look at the whole picture, and is that what we're supposed to give them? Or
I think it's part of it. But and maybe we do that in stages. I don't know,
yeah.
but certainly,
I mean, the rain garden issue is it's a boxable issue.
Right. You can see it.
You really can see it, and there are examples and displays, and we have all that, and it's easy to get your arms around it. The recycling, because there are so many moving parts.
Yeah.
well, we have an opportunity too this summer with the next season coming up to observe what's going on the island with recycling and in other parts of town, and see if we can learn something about problems with recycling.
It would be interesting for me, at least me, and maybe the whole committee, to know how many subscribers we actually have in the town and how many of those are on the beach. I bet there's very few over there. If we drove over there on pickup day, whenever that is, you wouldn't see that many blue boxes.
No, it's less, I can tell you, it's less than 10%
Yeah.
of the total.
And how many-
1,400 homes on the island? Is that about right? 1,300?
roughly.
I think there are around 1,300 lots.
Yeah.
1,250 of them have homes on them,
Yeah.
so 120 blue boxes or green
Right,
boxes,
yeah.
if you will. I think that's a lot.
How many of the full-time resident households on the mainland recycle, what percentage